Hey guys, it's Beth, and welcome back to some more Minecraft. We've essentially been using this as a way for me to discuss problems in different fandom communities for the past few episodes, so let's go a bit more broad. Um, let's talk about something that I really just need to get off of my chest because it's the truth and we need to accept this. CinemaSins set back film critique by at least a decade. I understand what is about to be said. CinemaSins is a parody or it's satire, and you just don't get it, and you shouldn't be taking it seriously. That's not how this works. Here's the thing about CinemaSins. It is not satire, and if it is a parody, it is a very poorly done one. Because here's how I will explain this right now. Parody and satire require a level of, like, what should I say here? Parody and satire require more in-depth, like, breakdowns of what you are, like, parodying or like, it has to be smart. It's not just nitpicks and nitpicks alone. You cannot... Oh, here's a better way of putting this. In order to create effective satire or effective parodies, what you need to do is not just create a bad version of what you are parodying. Because that doesn't make it into a parody or a satire, it just makes it bad critique in this case. Like, of course, that is a big issue in film critique, is just nitpicking and only paying attention to very minor sequences. However, that is never how this is portrayed within CinemaSins. In CinemaSins, it's always taken directly at face value, and it's only ever, like, it seems very much like you are intended to take it seriously. There's nothing very much parody about it. It just seems like a very snarky person talking about movies. And that's essentially it. And, like, that's part of the reason I dislike it so much. It's, like, you're not actually, like, putting in... I shouldn't say you're not putting in effort, because that's incorrect. You're not putting effort into making it an effective satire or parody. All you're doing is pretty much just saying that something is bad, and then just, that's it. What you're doing is essentially you're saying things are bad, and if the entire thing is, like, supposed to be a sort of statement on how, like, I don't know, like, movie critique is inherently flawed and subjective, then you're doing it in a very poor way, because you're not doing it in, like, oh, this is, like, a funny joke about how the industry operates. Instead, it's just, like, it's just someone being snarky about films. It's nothing other than nitpicks and critique. It just seems like you're another person in that essential machine of poor reviews that you're supposed to be parodying in your own words and your own ideas. Like, and it doesn't help that a lot of the times CinemaSins just has straight up false information. Like, that's something that should probably be brought up. A lot of their nitpicks and critiques are not actually, like, even valid within what they are critiquing. It's, like, there are certain examples, it's like, they will say that certain things are, like, actual issues and, like, let's say that there is, like, a prop, and they're like, oh, this prop is in this spot between this scene, and in the next scene, it's a completely different part of the room. Meanwhile, they cut out a part of that film where that prop is actually picked up and moved within the scene. And this directly happens with, I forget if it's one of the Amazing Spider-Mans or if it's one of the Raimi trilogy, but it happens there. Specifically, it is a Rubik's Cube, and they say, in this shot, the Rubik's Cube is completely solved, where in the next scene it's all mixed up. They clearly took 2 takes of this scene and stitched them together poorly. And it's just like, nope, in the actual scene, that person picks up the Rubik's Cube and twists it around for a bit, so of course it is actually going to be messed up at the end of the scene, because that actually happens in the scene. But by eliminating the context around it, you make it appear as if it was an error and something that was unintentional. Which is very, like, it is deceptive at best. Like, it is just being an idiot and being unobservant at best, or being openly deceptive at worst. Because here's the thing, film critique definitely does need more, like, it does need critique in itself. Film critique is very much a subjective thing, and a lot of people are complete and utter snobs with it. So I don't disagree with the idea of CinemaSins as a parody, however, it does not do enough as a parody to solidify it as anything other than just bad critique in and of itself. So, it has essentially just done nothing, and like, people are really bad with identifying satire online and parody online, and they're also bad at doing it. It's part of the issue with Filthy Frank as well, where that was all, like, that was a character, and it was never meant to be taken seriously, but people started taking what he said as gospel because he did not communicate the idea that it was all jokes very well. Yeah. So basically, you're going to have an entire generation of critique severely limited by the fact that people are just going to be nitpicking any minor element. Here's the thing. Leaving something up to interpretation is not a plot hole. It's not. It's just not. And plot holes are not inherently bad writing, because sometimes it's just... a lot of times plot holes don't actually exist in the way that you think they do, and they aren't just like a lack of caring. Sometimes they're just like, things are being rushed, and we're going to do what makes the most sense within this context, even if it doesn't entirely line up with how things should work in reality. And here's the thing, people have a big issue with, the whole idea that, like, anytime that something is done stupidly in a movie, it's like, wow, that's a plot hole. No, it's just that people are dumb in real life. It's like, I'm not gonna call Peter Parker making a dumb wish in No Way Home a plot hole, because it isn't. It's just Peter Parker being a dumbass. That's all it is. Like, just because something isn't smartly done does not mean that it's a plot hole. It just means the character themselves is not particularly smart. Like, of course, Peter Parker, in No Way Home, could have just said, I wish Mephisto didn't exist, as opposed to, I wish people didn't know I was Peter Parker. Because one of those things causes major issues, the other one could cause more issues, however, it does not directly come into effect for him until later. when he realizes, oh hey, maybe did I say Mephisto instead of Mysterio? Whatever, I don't care. It's like oh, maybe I should have actually like not told the world that like Mysterio didn't exist. Maybe that was a mistake. I'm not sure how it would be, but maybe it was. Like, it's like the easiest solution is just my problems are because people know that I'm Spider-Man. I wish that right now people did not know that I was Spider-Man. And that in itself is like, it's dumb, but that's just the character being dumb. It's not a dumb, it's not a plot hole. I can say that the idea is dumb, but I cannot say that it is a plot hole. And that's how I'm going to treat it. I love Spider-Man, and I am very upset with the MCU interpretation of him, because it essentially removes any aspect of Spider-Man from his existence. But, you know, I'll just have to live with it. Hey Enderman, how you doing? I'm going to leave you alone since, like, Endermen are literally docile until you interact with them, aren't ya? Aren't you? So, I have no issue with Endermen. They're cool. Okay. Unfortunately, I'm going to need to now... Oh, hey, what's up? I don't know, I'm just talking about Spider-Man. How about you? Oh, heading out? That's alright. Hope to see you later, Enderman. That was loud enough that it definitely got captured, didn't it? Oh well. Wait. Wait. Hold on. Yeah, okay. That's weird. I just noticed that, but, like, I can't let it... I cannot let something that small really trip me up. Oh crap, I need more pumpkins for... I need more dirt for my pumpkin farm. And it looks like this pumpkin farm is actually perfectly set up for 3 rows. Mouse, please. Mouse! Oh my gosh. At least after I'm done recording this one, I'm good for the next week of Minecraft. I still have to record 5 more of something else, but at least it won't be... Oh jeez. It's a problem, but, you know, everything always is. I need to make food. Not in the real world. I don't eat in the real world. It's actually a bit of a problem that I used to not eat, like, at all. This is not a joke. I need these to be cooked up. Okay. Where are the pumpkin seeds? Okay, there's the pumpkin seeds, there's the pumpkin. I'm going to create a pumpkin farm. Okay, right. No, not gravel. I don't want the gravel to go in there. Gravel goes over here. Let's take a couple stacks of dirt. Ooh, we're going to need, we are going to need more than 1 hoe. Actually, no, I don't think, because we only have to do 1 line of tilling, we might only need this hoe. I'll grab what I have here already. Go down, please. Thank you. Okay. I love Spider-Man. I really do. I always want to hope for the best with the MCU movies, but every time I'm like, this is not going to be good, is it? And every time I'm proven, yep, it was mediocre at best, and at worst it was a complete failure of character design and structure, which you know is always fun. How are you here? Ah, can you believe people? Oh man, I don't actually have, no, I need those. I don't have much wood left, do I? Shoot. I'm going to need to go on a, an excursion to get more wood. Okay. It's a lot of pumpkin seeds. Hey, Enderman. Even though I am very much, like, of the opinion that this next Spider-Man is not going to be great, it is so nice to see Doc Ock again. Because, God, his performance in Spider-Man 2 is one of the greatest things, like, I have ever seen in regards to, like, movies. It's amazing. Like, he is a very, very talented actor. Alfred Molina, I believe? I believe that is his name. He is incredibly talented and wonderful. Oh, shoot. I will say, I'm so glad that Spider-Verse exists. I'm so glad the Raimi movies exist, and I'm even glad that the Amazing Spider-Man movies exist. Because, hey, I feel like just the amount of, like, energy Andrew Garfield brought to the Amazing series, like, it's very clear how much he loves that role, how much he loved the character, and it's such a shame that they didn't let him do more with it. It's also a shame that we haven't seen the Spider-Man 4 that Sam Raimi wanted to make, because we never got the conclusion with the lizard that we really wanted, and we never got the Sinister Six in Amazing Spider-Man 3. And I feel like they actually were very close to, like, becoming their own thing with the Amazing Spider-Man series. Like, they were super close to, because, like, a big problem with it was they didn't know if they wanted to stay safe by doing another adaptation very similar to Sam Raimi's, or if they wanted to do their own thing, and towards the end of 2, they definitely, like, hit their stride, and they were like, alright, I think we know our identity now, I think we can do this. And then it got cut short before it was even able to do so. And I know the ending of Amazing Spider-Man 2 isn't good, but at the same time, this was still way too early to have the movie just end with Gwen Stacy dying. Like, here's the thing. I think they could do so much with that movie. If they did like a Snyder Cut equivalent for the Amazing Spider-Man series, can you imagine how good that could be? Like, because now more audiences are mature enough to like be able to leave a theater after Gwen Stacy dies, and you're like, oh god, like, you know, this is a consequence of being a hero, is that sometimes you can't save everyone. And, well, it's such a beautifully shot thing, too, of falling through the clock tower. It's just, like, God, I want I want those movies to finish. I want there to be an Amazing Spider-Man 3. I want there to be a Spider-Man 4. How the hell did you get down here? What the... Why? Why are you in my farm? Why are you here? You know what would be fun? If, like, instead of having, like, traveling villagers just show up, if you could make a block called the Trading Post, and it would attract different traveling villagers to it. And then it would be, like, generally that area. It would make people's, like, villager farm... And also, then you could make it so that there are more than one type of villager, traveling villager. And, like, have more stuff come in, because realistically, the traveling villager trades are awful. I have no idea why they even exist. Jeez, whatever. Alright, so, I want good Spider-Man. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye!